I think there's been some noticeable progress. I think today was a typical first scrimmage where everybody tries to overcomplicate things and under-communicates, and so we have to get that corrected. I do. And so I think that that's one of the things I noticed today. But as far as their effort and the way that they attack things every day, I think that that's been pretty consistent.
Coach, a lot of changes on that offensive side. How has that group meshed in the coaching room, just in the offensive room, I guess?
I think it's been great. I think they've kind of embraced the vertical run game, and they did a really good job of, being a wide zone team. And so I think that this is kind of a change of pace that they've enjoyed. And then some of the pass pro stuff that we're incorporating into that, it needs to go a long way from now. But I think that they are trending in the right direction. I don't think anything is negative. I think it's all about direction, not perfection at this point.
When you kind of came in here, I'm sure you looked at a lot of film from last year. That group had its share of struggles. Did you have to kind of rebuild confidence when you were starting out off, or?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't look at 1 inch of film.
Okay.
And the reason being is everybody does things differently, and what our offensive system is going to incorporate is a different scheme. So I did not want to have any prejudgments on how this kid played and this kid played and that kid did this and this. That's got nothing to do with it. So what we're going to do is be the best that we can be every single day, and really focus on one play at a time, one rep at a time. And I know all those are kind of cliches, but if you don't do that, you're not going to get very good anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
With that being said, how did you start day one? Who are you rolling out there as 5 guys?
I just kind of left it the way that they had been repping. I didn't want to overcomplicate things. Yeah. And then as things have gone on, we've mixed and matched guys, and we've still got some really good competitions going on. And I think that that's important. I think that we will reevaluate after this scrimmage on how we're going to go forward from here. And I think that's important. But, yeah, I kind of left it the way it was.
Coleton was at center. Is that where he still is, or are you looking at
today?
Today.
No, I'm just messing with him. He's doing an outstanding job. I'm really excited about his presence, his leadership. I think it's going to be a fun challenge for him, just because of some of the things that I allowed the center to do, which I don't know if he was able to do before or not my area, but I do believe that he is enjoying it. I'll let him speak more to that.
What are some of those things that normally a center might not?
I've always kind of believed that the center is the quarterback of the offensive line, and so he has to put us in the correct scheme, the correct count, the correct front call, all that stuff. And that at first can be overwhelming, and he has not been overwhelmed by that. I think today was our first lesson in communication, being in a stage where everybody's backed off and we're out there playing, and we will grow from that.
What about some other guys? Who else are you looking at, or who's kind of stepped up in these first week or so?
I would say Campbell's done a really good job. He's a senior. He's played a lot of football. Omar's done a good job. I don't want to leave anybody out. I don't think there's anybody who's just you look at and go, they can't help us. I'm still looking at things through rose-colored glasses a little bit, and as we're evaluating, but I do appreciate their effort.
You came from Tarleton, right?
Yes.
First game of the season. Will that be odd at all, or?
No, not really. Coach Witten does such a tremendous job, and he's such a good friend and a great mentor. I appreciated him bringing me back to Tarleton after, Coach Leach passed, and really kind of took care of me as a person. And Stephenville's a good town, but we're excited to be here in Waco.
And speaking of Coach Leach, he's going to the Texas Sports Hall of Fame just down the road.
Yep.
Was that cool to hear that news?
Yeah, I'd already planned on being down here anyway, so it's kind of, I only have to go like 100 feet to get there. But no, it's he well-deserving. Obviously meant a lot to me, meant a lot to college football, meant a lot to families. I will enjoy seeing his family, Sharon and Janine and Cody and Kirsten and Kimmy, so I'm looking forward to all that.
Can't remember, were you there when Sawyer was there?
I was. He was a freshman and a redshirt freshman.
Yeah. Tell me what you thought about him, and maybe what you've even seen from him out here.
I always thought he did some good things. I'll be honest with you, I never pay any attention to those guys. I've got my own problems. But you can always kind of tell, standing back there, the leadership that, everything rolls forward. So, and we got to do a really good job of keeping those guys comfortable.
Omar, you're a Texan, so I mean, is it good to be back
Back
home,
in Texas?
closer to home?
Definitely. And that was, definitely a big part of my decision coming back to Texas. So I'm happy to be here.
What can you take from just your experience up there in Montana to kind of bring to this line?
What I could bring is a person that brings energy every day. Someone who's going to bring other people with them. And yeah.
Where they got you right now?
Right now they got me at right guard. So.
Comfortable there? Have you played
Yes.
multiple positions? Or?
Mainly the inside three, taking majority of my snaps at right guard. So right now I'm at the position I'm most comfortable at.
What do you, when you look at this line, I mean, do you see a line that, that can be a strength of this football team?
Definitely. There's definitely some things we need to work on, some things we need to improve, but, if we keep on the same trajectory, I definitely think we can be one of the best O-lines in the country, so.
Is it still to the point of maybe musical chairs where guys are moving around, some experimenting stuff, this early in the spring, that kind of thing?
Right, we definitely have some guys who play multiple positions, but, we have multiple guys snapping. We have some guards going left to right, and having position versatility is definitely a big skill if you're an offensive lineman. So, I think we're doing some of that, and that's a good thing for us.
Statistically, you guys up there at Montana State were really good at running the ball. I mean,
Right.
Is that an element of run blocking that you really like?
I would say I definitely enjoy the physicality that comes with the run game. But, the run game and pass game complement each other. So we got to make sure we're honed in on all phases of the game.
At what point, or do you feel like that there will be like a set five, or will that maybe even come in the fall?
As of right now, we don't technically have a set five. Everybody's competing hard. Everybody wants to be in that five. So I think the competition we have in our group is good for us. It's pushing everybody to get better. But as of right now, we don't have anything set in stone. So.
When it comes to the run game, what's that communication process like, Coach Hall and the other running backs, with the offensive line?
There's definitely a lot of communication that goes into it. If the O-line, quarterback, and running back, and receivers, tight ends as well, aren't on the same page, then the run game won't work. So there's definitely been a lot of communication, a lot of unit meetings, a lot of things we're doing to make sure we're an offense as a whole. So that's very important.
What was it like being over there at Plain Stadium?
Awesome experience. I actually played a game there in high school. I think it was, I want to say my semifinals of my senior year. That was the first time I played in McLean Stadium. So, being out there feels unreal. I definitely enjoyed it, and I can't wait to play there in the fall. So.
Did y'all win that game?
Yes, we did. Yes, sir.
So you're undefeated in McLean.
In McLean, yeah, 1-0.
Since he just went up the stairs, can you talk about Coach Spavital and just maybe his offense? How do you feel about just that whole scheme?
So his scheme is honestly very different than anything I'm used to, but I see there's a lot of benefit in the offense he runs, and I've really been enjoying adapting to that type of play style. So I think we're going to have an explosive offense that plays fast tempo, and an offense that scores a lot of points. So I'm excited.
What's the difference in the blocking schemes, or what maybe from what you're used to, or I know they did wide zone here last year.
Right.
What's kind of the...
So at Montana State, we were a heavy outside zone team, kind of similar to how we were here last year. So that's I'd say the offense I feel most comfortable in. But so far, with our inside zone scheme being our main run scheme, I think as a whole offensive line, we've made great strides. Looking at today compared to our first practice, I think we made great strides. So.
What's it been like? Obviously, a lot of change on the offense.
Of course. I mean, it's been a grinder. Every single day, spring ball, all this other stuff, going from workouts to practice, having school as well on top of that. I mean, it's been wonderful. I mean, it's just been a grinder in general, from just having adapting from a new scheme and stuff like that. Because prior we were just a wide zone school, and so I mean, adjusting to Spav's offensive scheme, it's been wonderful. I mean, I feel like we're going to go very far places with this kind of scheme, and from what I've seen so far, I mean, there's nothing but like positive outcomes from right now.
Colton, Coach mentioned that, center has a little bit more on his plate, maybe than normal. I mean,
Right.
kind of dig into that. I mean, has it been fun? Has it been challenging?
I mean, it's been very challenging. Center does come with some like, I guess, adversity, I guess you got to face. I mean, at center you got to communicate with the whole line. Everyone's got to communicate with each other. If your center doesn't know what to call or what you're doing, then the whole offensive scheme ain't gonna be I guess in a positive outcome. So I mean, center and the rest of the O-line, I mean, there's really nothing different other than just communication. So I mean, once the center and everyone else is on point, then we should be doing great.
Last year, you guys as a line had some ups and downs. I mean, obviously new scheme, new coaches and stuff. Does that kind of wipe all that away, or are you still sort of like, are you motivated to kind of?
I mean, yeah, I would say it's a big motivation from coming from last year. I mean, there's a lot of things we should fix in the offensive area. So I mean, like having this big adjustment from the offensive coaches and stuff, everyone changing out. I mean, it kind of feels like everything's been wiped away, but it really hasn't. We have something to prove this next upcoming year. So I mean, it's going to be great. There's nothing else.
In terms of Spav's new offense, what's that balance been like between the run game and the pass game?
Yeah, so we run I'd say we run a lot of RPOs and stuff like that. So I mean, we're a big like just inside zone team now this upcoming year. So I mean, it's been a big adjustment coming from like wide zone, having to go more like laterally than sideways. And so I mean, it's just been nothing but positive outcomes, I guess.
Not a ton of experience returning.
Of course.
Offensive line.
Yes.
Where do you see it coming right now?
Can you repeat that question?
Not a lot of experience. Seems like not a lot of experience returning from last year's offensive line.
Yeah, so obviously like Clark's out of here and stuff like that. So I mean, we also have like Byers, Campbell, Alvin, Caden, really anyone else that played last year. We were able to grow from that, see what we did last year, what we need to prove on, and like improve. And so I mean, like coming from like last year, we have a lot to say about this O-line, coming as from like pass game, run game, really whatever, the whole offensive line and scheme itself. So I mean, it's just like the stuff we had last year compared to this year, we're growing tremendously, like going in a straight upward arrow. Like the O-line this year has like we communicate way more. We're more energized, like coming from like the feeling on offensive field in general, from practices to what we do at the stadium, energy is just through the roof. So I mean, we're able to come up from that. So I mean, it's been going great for the O-line itself.
When last year ended, coming into this year, what was as a unit that y'all felt that we need to grow from this, we need to adjust this to fix that for this season?
I mean, I'd say just having the energy as an O-line, like that savviness an O-lineman should have, like I guess not like too cocky, but you need to have like a little cockiness walking around as an O-lineman because you're trying to lead this offense in general. So I mean, it's been a change, and so I mean, coming from like last year's offense and stuff, things weren't going great. Our record wasn't going very great, and so I mean, we did have a lot of things to fix as an O-line, but I mean, I'd say that's one of the biggest things is just having that cockiness or that savviness you have as an O-lineman or anything is in general is just being able to walk around knowing, hey, we're going to get this. And so I mean, it's just that energy you got to bring on the field and stuff, and with all your teammates. Because like if you one guy dabs someone up, then the next guy's probably going to do the same thing. It's just going to lead from there. And so I mean, as long as one person has energy, it'll help the whole entire team. So I mean,
What's your ink represent here?
this one right here, I'd say it says God is greater than the ups and downs, and so like anything like you really face like adversity and stuff like that, God's there. And so I mean, He's always. I think that's actually a big deal this weekend, because Easter, and so yeah.